let's move forward then. The next step really is to kind of look at the profile of the structural member, right? So if this is essentially going to be some kind of like extruded tube steel, there are a few things that we can do. We can extrude a profile around it, or we can um, um, I'm blanking right now. Sorry. Or we can use a variable pipe. So I'll show you variable pipe first. I'm going to start simple. It's just a pipe. And then I can show you sweep, but I'm not sure if sweep is going to allow us to also taper the sweep. So it's a little different here. Or I guess it would be like a loft along curve. Oh, well, I got a few ideas about it. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, but let's do the pipe one first. So we have a list of 4 curves now. That's these. So I'm going to do a pipe variable. That's this one right here. And pipe variable is going to request a couple of things. Obviously, it's going to request the curve that you're going to create a pipe around. It's going to request the curve parameters, and this is multiple parameters for your radius values. And then obviously you're going to need a radius for every single one of your parameters. And then caps is just going to define what kind of end condition it has. So let's just plug in the curves first, and then let's create some lists that are going to generate our radius and our parameter. So, and I'm really hoping that this particular parameter goes with a reparametrized version rather than the static magnitude-based one. So we'll see how that works. But anyway, I'm going to need 2 panels. And turn them off of multi-line data. So the first one is going to be our curve parameters. So this basically means at which point do you want to change the thickness of the pipe, right? So, and it's going to basically loft the thickness from one to the other. So I'm going to start with my first radius is going to be placed at the 0 parameter. That means the beginning of the curve. My second one, I'm going to define a new radius at halfway across the curve. So that would mean right where our points are in the center. I'll define a radius there. And then I'll do another radius at the end. So that would be the center point. And I'll plug that one into T. And then we have to create a pairing of the radius values that are going to be associated with each one. So remember that these are measured in feet, and I'm just going to ballpark and kind of guess what kind of radius these have approximately. So the first one, I'm going to start at about 3 feet. Well, that's a radius actually, so 6 feet is going to be huge. So I'll change that to 1.5. And then at the middle, it's going to kind of taper down a little bit to a value of, I guess I'll do 1.2. And then at the very end, I'll go down another 3 to 0.9. And then I'll plug that into R. Caps. Aha, look at that. So what it did was created the pipe from 0 to 0.5 feet along the line to 1 foot along the line. So right now it's only a 1 foot sweep or extrusion. It's only a 1 foot long pipe. So this tells us what? It's not a percentage value, so we have to do what? Reparametrize it, yep. So we're going to go to the curve input and reparametrize that. And it creates your structural armature. So I'm going to go back here and just kind of compare the two. Just look at them side by side. Right, so that's kind of getting the essence of it, sort of. And of course our numbers might change and everything like that, but that's the basics. So let's jump now into considering whether or not we can do a sweep. A sweep is going to be a little bit more difficult because you have to basically take a profile and loft it along a curve, and frankly it's something I've not done yet. So under surface and freeform, rail revolution. Create a surface of revolution. Use it. No, that's not what I want. Two rail curves. Extrude along. I think that's what we want. Extrude curves and surfaces along a curve. So I'm pretty sure this is the one we want. I just don't know if it's going to allow us to assign. So it's one profile or base curve and one extrusion curve. That could work, but it won't taper. I wonder if we can set both. I'll consider that later. So let's try, I'm going to try sweep 2, and I'm basically going to sweep, well, no, that won't, that won't work properly. Hang on a moment. So I just did a quick exercise. You guys kind of saw that up there, where I was just testing out circles to see whether or not it would work to do a profile-based loft function. So that's what we're going to do, but I'm going to do it in a new video because it's going to take a fair bit of time, I think.